I can still feel the knot in my stomach tightening as I sat at that weathered wooden picnic table under the string lights. The warm Arizona evening breeze carrying the scent of mesquite from the grill. Our family's ranch-style home in Scottsdale was lit up like a 4th of July barbecue, with everyone gathered for what they thought was a milestone celebration. 8 years. That's how long Jack and I had been hitched, riding the ups and downs like a dusty trail ride that never quite led to the promised land. I'd pour my soul into being the ideal wife, rustling up his favorite chili, cheering on his real estate hustles, turning a blind eye to the doubts, gnawing at me like a coyote in the night. Jack stood up abruptly, his boots scraping against the flagstone patio. The chatter died down, folks turning their heads with expectant smiles. My mom, in her turquoise blouse and silver earrings, beamed at me. Dad adjusted his BOLO tie, his weathered face unreadable. Across the table sat Jack's folks, Patricia in a flowy sundress, and Howard stiff as a fence post in his button-down. My little sister snapped photos on her phone, buzzing with excitement. Jack's brother and his wife sipped iced tea, trading small talk. Aunts and uncles filled out the crowd, making the backyard feel like a real family hoedown. "Thanks for coming out tonight, y'all," Jack said, his voice smooth as bourbon, tapping his glass with a fork. That grin of his, the one that roped me in all those years ago, spread wide. "Means the world to have both clans here under one roof." My sister gave me a wink, probably figuring on some sappy toast. I felt heat rise in my cheeks from all the eyes on us, but I managed to smile. Inside, though, a storm brewed. I'd sensed the chill in his tone lately, like a shadow creeping over the desert sun. 8 years ago, I tied the knot with this fine woman right here, he went on, nodding at me. 8 years of partnership, building dreams, weathering storms, but his eyes, they held no warmth, just a calculated glint. My gut twisted harder. Why did this feel like a setup? In that time, I figured out what I truly want, he said, his smile sharpening. My needs, my ambitions, my path forward. Patricia nodded approvingly, likely expecting vows renewed. Dad sat stone still, his rancher's instincts picking up trouble. "So, on this special night, I'm laying it all out," Jack declared, pulling a thick envelope from his jacket. The paper rustled like dry leaves in the wind. He slid it across the table toward me, bold as brass. "Emily, I want a divorce." The backyard went dead quiet. No crickets. No whispers, just shock hanging heavy in the air. My sister's phone clattered to the table. Mom's hand flew to her chest. Patricia blinked like she'd been slapped. Howard's jaw tightened. Jack stood there, arms crossed, waiting for the tears, the pleas, the breakdown he craved to feed his ego. My hands trembled, but not from heartbreak. Rage boiled up, hot as a branding iron. How dare he pull this stunt here, in front of kin, trying to grind me into the dirt like I was yesterday's news? For a beat, I stared at those papers, petition for dissolution of marriage screaming in black ink. Then, something snapped inside me, turning fury into steel resolve. I reached for my purse slung over the chair, fingers closing around the folder I'd stashed there weeks ago, praying I'd never need it but ready all the same. Jack's grin flickered as he watched. He hadn't counted on this, no sir. He expected me crumbling like a dry arroyo bank. I set the folder down, opened it deliberate-like, and started sliding photos across the checkered tablecloth. The first one landed before Patricia. Jack locked lips with some blonde outside a motel in Phoenix. Her face drained of color, eyes widening in betrayal. She shot up, chair tipping over with a thud that echoed off the adobe walls. Then she hauled off and slapped him square across the face, the crack splitting the night like thunder. It all started 9 years back on a scorching Tuesday in September, my supposed lucky day. Though I've since learned luck's just choices in disguise. Dad had sent me to a real estate expo in Tucson to rep our family business, Hayes Realty and Development. We'd built it from a single dusty lot into a powerhouse across the Southwest, flipping ranches and suburban spreads. At 23, fresh from college with a business degree, I was itching to prove I wasn't just riding Daddy's coattails. The expo was a snooze, suits droning about zoning laws and market flips. I was grabbing coffee when someone jostled me, spilling hot Joe on my sleeve. "Shoot. I'm real sorry," came a smooth drawl. I turned to see Jack Reynolds, tall, dark hair, slicked back, in a tailored Western shirt that hugged his frame. Those green eyes sparkled like emeralds in the sun, and his smile hit me like a lasso. "Jack Reynolds," he said, dabbing at my arm with napkins. "You okay? Need some ice?"
"I've fine, I mattered."
Blushing. "Emily Hayes." His eyes lit up. "Hayes? As in Hayes Realty? Your dad's a legend. Built an empire from nothing. Fair deals all around." I warmed to him instantly. Anyone praising Dad scored points. We jawed for hours about land deals. Growing up in the West, he from old money and Texas cattle stock, me from Arizona dirt farmers turned developers. By day's end, he had my number. Called that night. And every night after. Our first date? Steakhouse in Scottsdale. Prime cuts and sunset views. Flowers arrived at work next day, 24 yellow roses with a note. To the Spitfire who's stolen my heart. Coworkers swooned. Second date. Horseback ride through the Sonoran Desert at twilight. Third. Weekend at a Sedona spa. It was a whirlwind. Like those romance novels Mom reads. Dad met Jack 2 months in at Sunday barbecue. Mom adored him. He praised her green chili enchiladas. Helped clear plates. But Dad stayed quiet, eyeing him like a hawk spotting a snake. After Jack left, Dad pulled me aside by the grill. "Watch yourself, darlin'. That boy's got ambition written all over him. Might not be just for you." I bristled, thinking he was overprotecting his little girl. "He's perfect,
Dad."
"Successful, charming. That's what worries me," he replied. "And all those questions about our holdings, our deals. Smells like he's after more than your heart." I stormed off, hurt. Wish I'd listened. Would have saved years of heartache. Jack proposed 11 months later at that same steakhouse. Down on one knee, with a rock the size of a quail egg. Crowd cheered. I said yes in a heartbeat. Dad forced a smile at the engagement shindig. Mom planned the wedding like a pro. Jack's parents rolled in, Patricia with fancy wine, Howard with a stiff pep talk on legacy. Wedding cost a bundle. Mostly on my folks' dime despite Jack's family's deep pockets. I didn't care. I was head over heels, blind to the red flags waving like tumbleweeds in a gale. First year was decent. Honeymoon phase in a cozy adobe home in the suburbs. My parents chipping in for the down payment. Jack's folks sent crystal we never unpacked. I nested, grilling up feasts,
Hosting clients.
but cracks showed quick. Jack nitpicked my looks. "That top's a bit snug. Hun, don't want folks thinking you're letting yourself go." I'd change. Doubting myself. By year 2, it escalated. "You're softening up. Hit the gym like my assistant Sarah does." I shed pounds I didn't need to, chasing his approval like a mirage.
Inside,
Doubts festered. Was I enough? Why did his late nights at the office feel like lies?
his ma,
Patricia, Drop by often. Sugar sweet but siding with him always. Jack says you're buried in your dad's deals. A wife's place is home. Supporting her man. I'd bite my tongue, but resentment simmered. By year 3, Jack came home reeking of perfume, excuses rolling off his tongue. I ate alone, questioning my sanity. Why stay? Love? Fear? The inner voice screamed run, but I silenced it, clinging to vows like a lifeline in the rapids. By year 4, I was a shadow of myself, 15 pounds lighter. Wardrobe vetted by Jack. Friends ghosted because he deemed them trouble. Time at Dad's office dwindled. Jack griped I prioritized family biz over him. Why can't you be more like Sarah, he'd say. Polished, sharp, knows her place. That name, Sarah, twisted like a knife. But I pushed harder. Cooking classes for gourmet Southwestern fare. Boning up on real estate lingo. Still, he drifted further. Barb sharper. Year 5 brought the mask cracking. Your old man's holding out on me, Jack snarled one night after a family cookout. 5 years married. And no steak and haze? What gives? Maybe earn it, I shot back. Weary. Earn it, he mocked. I married into this, expected partnerships, not scraps. Revelation hit. Dad was right. Jack wanted the empire, not me. Inner turmoil raged. Had I been a pawn? Self-doubt clawed. You're foolish, Emily, for believing fairy tales. But anger sparked, no more. I deserve truth. Year 6?
Pure venom.
Jack dropped pretenses, ranting about Dad's greed, gripping the wheel white-knuckled post-dinner. 6 years. And he shuts me out, no intros.
No cats.
What was the point, he spat. The unspoken. Marrying you. Pain lanced my heart. Am I worthless? But resolve hardened. Investigate. Quietly, I hired a PI.
Ellen Ruiz.
A no-frills pro from Phoenix. Sloppy work. Your hubby, she said, eyes sharp. Trails everywhere. Helen delivered fast. Photos of Jack and Sarah kissing at desert motels. Hand-holding in canyon hikes.
Hotel check-ins midday.
Dated back 2 years. Bank slips showed secret cards. $25,000 debt on gifts and getaways. Siphoned from our joint account. He'd pawned heirlooms, grandma's turquoise necklace. Parents' gifts, receipts proved it. Worst, business fraud. Jack peddled fake land deals using Hayes' name, pocketing $150,000 from suckers. Criminal, Helen said.
Guide fraud.
Embezzlement, federal time possible. Then the recordings, Jack's voice sneering. My folks are idiots, Mom's a pushover. Dad's a relic. Can't wait for their cash. Sarah giggled. And Emily? Pathetic. Always begging approval. Gonna crush her at the anniversary bash. Bile rose, betrayal burned. Who was this monster? Inner chaos. Hate him? Pity myself?
No, empower.
I consulted lawyer Ben Torres, a family friend versed in Arizona law. Solid case, he said. Adultery voids prenup claims. Fraud means restitution or jail. I prepped the folder, evidence stacked. Legal docs ready. Anniversary neared. I dressed sharp, a crimson sundress hugging curves Jack once mocked. Mirror reflection, strong, not broken. Jack barely glanced. Texting, likely Sarah. We drove silent to the ranch. He hummed, giddy for his win. Families waited, Mom waving, Dad watchful, Patricia beaming, Howard stoic. Laughter flowed over appetizers. Toasts to our enduring love. Jack squeezed my hand, possessive, not tender. Post main course. He rose. Thanks for being here, he charmed. Tapped glass. 8 years with Emily, lessons learned. Smile turned icy. What I want now. Pulled envelope. Slid papers. Emily.
Divorce. Gasps.
Silence. He waited for my collapse. Instead, calm flooded me. Purse opened, folder out. Photos slid. First to Patricia, Jack, and Sarah entangled. Her horror. What? His mistress. Sarah Klein. 2 years. More pics.
Statements.
Stole heirlooms. Spent on her. Dad rose. Fury etched. Receipts down. Pawns your watch. Patricia, mom's jewelry. Financials. Scams using Hayes Rep, $150,000 fleeced. Text printed. Jack calling Patricia fool. Howard has been. Me pathetic. Planning my humiliation. Patricia sobbed. Stood. Slapped him. Crack resounding. Jack reeled.
Redwelt blooming.
How dare you, she hissed. Disgrace us? Hurt Emily? Tears flowed. Howard grabbed Doc's. Disgust plain. Thief. Liar. Jack stammered. Pressure. Emily's family snubbed me. Dad boomed. Offer jobs thrice. You sneered at starting low. Wanted handouts. I hadn't known. Jack pointed. Her fault. Not supportive. Howard cut. Quiet. Choices. Police now, fraud charges. Or sign her terms. Repay all. Quietly. Jack scanned faces, kin averted eyes. 1 hour. Dad added. Phone out. Or Hayes presses charges. Patricia fled sobbing. Howard followed. My family hugged. Mom whispered pride. Dad kissed forehead. Sister squeezed. They left. Ben entered with papers. Fault admitted. No assets, restitution, or charges. Jack signed.
Shaky.
Sarah won't stay, I said. Wanted your wallet. Like you mine. Pain flashed in his eyes. No pity from me. Walked out.
Free.
Emotions surged post-dinner. Relief? Victory? Hollow. Why'd I endure? Inner voice, you grew stronger. Months healed. Therapy unpacked abuse, gaslighting.
Control.
Reclaimed self. Gained weight healthily. Rekindled friendships. Started consulting for women in bad marriages. Navigating Arizona divorce laws, community property splits. Alimony fair. 6 months on. Coffee shop in Scottsdale. Reading. Peaceful. Seat taken. Man my age. Genuine smile.
No.
We chatted books. Hikes, not flattery. Number exchanged hesitantly, old fears. Trust again? But growth whispered. You know red flags now. Walking home. Hope bloomed, not for romance. But life on my terms. Jack's betrayal? Catalyst for rebirth. Article of faith. Rock bottom births rising. But whispers lingered. Was revenge right? Inner conflict deepened. Satisfaction tainted by pity for his ruin. Perhaps forgiveness next? Emotions weighed heavier. Drama unfolding inward. As the dust settled from that explosive night, the emotional fallout hit like a monsoon flash flood. I'd won. Sure, divorce papers signed. Restitution underway, but victory tasted bitter. Laced with questions that kept me up staring at the starry Arizona sky. Did exposing him heal me? Or just spread more pain? Patricia's slap echoed in my mind, her tears a mirror to my own buried grief.
Inside.
Turmoil churned. You're no victim anymore. Emily. But was humiliating him in front of kin too far? The drama of it all amplified my inner storms, each wave crashing harder. Jack vanished quick, sold his truck. cashed out what little he had to repay victims. Word spread through Scottsdale's tight-knit real estate circles. His rep tanked like a busted well. Sarah bolted the second his wallet thinned. On to the next mark. His folks cut ties. Patricia's last call to me. I'm ashamed. Emily. You deserved better. Her voice cracked. I felt a pang. Not glee, but sorrow for a mother's shattered illusion. Howard wired funds to cover shortfalls. His note curt, for justice.
No worms.
My family rallied, Mom's hugs endless. Dad's quiet pride shining. You stood tall, darling. But therapy sessions unearthed deeper scars, years of erosion to my self-worth. Why'd I stay? I'd ask the counselor. Love blinded you, she'd say. Now rebuild. Inner monologues raged. Foolish girl.
Ignoring gut feelings. Yet.
Compassion crept in, for past me, not him. I volunteered at women's shelters, sharing stories under desert sunsets. Know your worth, I'd tell them. Arizona law protects equitable division, no-fault options, empowered others, healed myself. But nights brought doubts. Was my revenge humane? Jack's pain-flashed eyes haunted. Perhaps he needed help, not ruin. Emotions intensified, drama peaking in solitude. A letter arrived 3 months post. Jack scrawl. Emily. I hit bottom. Therapy's opening eyes. Greed poisoned me. Sorry ain't enough. But I'm paying back. Getting clean. No plea for reunion. Just regret. Inner conflict boiled. Forgive or hold grudge? The human in me stirred. Everyone errs. Learns.
I pondered under saguaro shadows.
Walking trails where we once hiked. Memories flooded, early days. His laugh genuine before ambition corrupted. Was that man redeemable? Drama thickened inwardly, pity versus justice. I replied neutral. Actions speak. Keep repaying. No more. Focused on growth, expanded consulting, helping navigate prenups.
Asset splits per state codes.
Clients' tears mirrored mine. Their triumphs fueled hope. 9 months on. A community event in Tucson, real estate mixer. Jack appeared. Gaunt but sober. Approached hesitant. Emily. Heart raced. Anger? Fear? What? Thanks for not pressing charges. I'm working construction. Honest labor. Eyes downcast. Inner voice. He's changing? Drama surged. Confront or release. Good, I said. Learned from it. Walked away. Lighter. Forgiveness? Not fully. But seeds planted. Emotions deepened. Each reflection heavier. Life's not black-white. Article learned. Revenge satisfies momentary. But humanity endures through empathy. The weight of it all pressed heavier as time wore on. Emotions layering like sediment in the Grand Canyon. A year after the divorce, I stood in my new office, a cozy spot in downtown Scottsdale. Walls adorned with maps of southwestern properties. Business boomed. Women flocked for advice on untangling marriages under Arizona's community property laws, where assets split fair, but fraud tips the scales. Each session dredged my past, amplifying inner drama. Am I healed? Or just masking? Jack's transformation rumors swirled. He joined AA. Volunteered at fraud recovery groups. A mutual friend shared. He's owning mistakes. Inner turmoil peaked. Does he deserve redemption? My heart wrestled. Betrayal's scar throbbed. Yet humanity whispered grace. At a shelter fundraiser, we crossed paths again. He nodded respectful. I approached. Heard you're helping folks. Trying, he said. Voice humble. Your strength inspired me. Emily. No excuses, I was wrong.
Dialogue tense.
Real. Why'd you do it?
Greed.
Insecurity. Thought money fixed everything.
Tears welled his.
Mine too. Inner storm raged. Pity him? Or protect self?
Hurt runs deep, I said.
But growth matters. We parted civil.
No promises.
Emotions overwhelmed. Drama of forgiveness versus caution. Therapy helped. Boundaries key. I set them. Focusing inward. Family healed too. Patricia reached out. Lunch in Phoenix. Forgive my blindness. Tears shared. Bonds mended. Your family still. Inner reflection. Loss teaches connection. Business thrived. But solitude brought heavier questions. Am I ready for love? That coffee shop guy, Mark, called. Dates followed. Hikes. Honest talks.
No ruse. No masks.
Inner drama. Trust again?
Yes. Cautiously.
Article bloomed. Life's about second chances. With wisdom. 2 years post-divorce. Emotions crested like a tidal wave. Drama internalized to profound depths. I married Mark in a simple desert ceremony. Vows honest. Love earned. Jack attended a recovery event I spoke at. We nodded. Peace settled. He'd repaid all. Rebuilt humbly. Inner monologue. Forgiveness freeze. His note. Thanks for the lesson. Humanity over vengeance. I smiled. Article gentle. We all stumble. Rise with grace. Life flourished. Business expanded. Helping nationwide via webinars on legal protections. Family closer. Personal joy abundant. Betrayal's shadow faded. Replaced by empathy's light. The end? Not revenge, but redemption for all.